Hello, everybody. My name is Dee, and welcome to Books and Quirks. Today is Friday, so it's time for another Friday Reads. So I'm just going to quickly tell you about what I finished this week, and then move on to what I'll be reading tonight and into the weekend. So let me just get started. So the first book I finished was The Rise and Fall of the D.O.D.O by Neal, Stephenson, and Nicole Galland. This was quite a chunker. It was almost 800 pages, but it was actually a quick read. So this book is told in a different kind of format. It's told through, different classified documents, kind of like Illuminae by J. Kristoff. It's told through different chats and different government memos and things. And it is a sci-fi mixed with fantasy, mixed with historical fiction, if that makes sense. So this is basically a time travel novel. It follows the main character, Matheson Stokes. It follows a bunch of characters, but Matheson Stokes is the main character. She's a renowned linguist, and she is recruited to help bring magic back. Magic was kind of destroyed in 1851 when new technologies were developed, and they have a way to build sort of this time machine, this sort of a room where magic will be possible, but they need a witch in order to help them, and a witch is recruited. So this is quite interesting because I gave it 3 stars. I did really enjoy it. There were just the reason I didn't give it a higher score was because this novel is very much based on governments, government projects, government bureaucracy, and when things got too heavy in that respect, I really didn't enjoy it. And I didn't enjoy the first third of it either. Basically, there's a lot of technical language, and they're building this contraption. And I really wasn't sure what was going on or what the plot was during the first third. But once I got past that, I really did enjoy a lot of parts of it. I love historical fiction. So anytime they went back in time, because they went back in time quite a few times in the novel, a big chunk of it, they went back during the Elizabethan era. And Kit Marlowe was part of the scene, and a bunch of other historical figures, and I really loved that. They went back during other times in history, and I really loved that. I also loved the paranormal aspect, not only of time travel, but of there being witches, and witches were really the ones that were able to transport people back in time. So you not only needed this contraption that they're building, but you also needed a witch, because this contraption allowed a witch to tap into their magic again. So yeah, there's also a little bit of a mystery involved. It's really hard to describe this book. I think if you like time travel, if you like sci-fi, if you like books with government type projects and government bureaucracy and things like that, I think you would really enjoy this. I'm glad I gave it a go. Like I said, I really enjoyed parts of this. There were just a couple things that I had that I really didn't enjoy, like I said. So, yeah, I'm glad I read it, and it was a fast read because of the way it was written. And yeah, so that's what I thought of the D.O.D.O. So simultaneously, while I was reading that book, I picked up the second book in the Songs of Love and War series. I don't know what the series is called. Anyway, last week I talked about the Songs of Love and War, which I finished. So this week I picked up The Daughters of Castle Deverill, which is the continuation. So the first book I explained is really based around the Irish Revolution during World War I and beyond. And this book picks up where the last book left off, and it takes place from 1925, so after the revolution is over, and it follows the Deverills during the Great Depression, and there's so much drama involved. It really is a family saga. Um, I just really enjoyed the series, and the setting, especially in Ireland, was really, really beautiful. So I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, just like I gave the first book, and I absolutely loved it. I talked a lot about the first book last week, so I'm not going to give a synopsis again. But yeah, if you're interested, please look it up on Goodreads because it really is a good series. If you like, again, you're only going to like this book if you enjoy historical fiction, and you enjoy family saga type books. Um, and it also has a little bit of a feel, just a little bit of Downton Abbey. So, yes, I'm glad I read this. Okay, so let's get started with the books that I'll be reading this weekend. So, the first book that I'll be reading is a NetGalley book, and that is The Masterpiece by Fiona Davis. This is a book that comes out in August, and it really drew me in the synopsis because this is another historical fiction book, and it follows two women, one in 1928 and another woman in 1974, and it revolves around the elegance and masterpiece that is Grand Central Station. In 1928, in the early 1900s, Grand Central Station was a work of art. I mean, it still is. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. If you go into Grand Central Station in New York City today, you could just see the magnificence. It's a big tourism draw, and it's just gorgeous. And but in the 1970s and 80s, actually probably starting in the 60s, it started to go downhill a little bit because nobody ever cleaned it. So the ceilings with the art on it, and the walls and the windows and the floors became black. And they determined in the 1970s that it was because it was basically just dirty. They needed to clean it because it was from decades of nicotine and tar and tobacco smoking. So in the 1970s and 80s, they did a big restoration and restored it back to its magnificence. So if you go there now, it's gorgeous. The book also has a lot to do with art. In Grand Central Station on the fifth floor, on the upper floors, I should say, there were art galleries and art exhibitions, and it's a big part of these two characters' stories as well. So I did start it. I'm halfway through, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's right up my alley. The next two books that I'll be reading are part of the Summer Romance Bingo, and the first book is Now That You Mention It. I don't know really what this book is about, but I picked it because it is a Rita Award finalist. And that is one of the challenges. It's also a Harlequin, so that's another challenge. It could fit into either. So this follows a main character who really had everything going for her, and then she was in a bad car accident, and everything sort of went wrong. Um, Not only because of the accident, but other parts of her life seemed to fall apart. So she was forced to move back home, where she hasn't been since she was a child, to heal. And I think it's a story about healing, um, dealing with your past, dealing with, family issues, as well as falling in love, because this is a romance as well. So I really am looking forward to giving this one a go. And the next book that I'll be reading is also part of the Summer Romance Readers Bingo, and that is Somewhere in Time by Richard Matheson. This is a reread, but I'm really excited. It is about a man who finds a way to go back in time. Um, there was a movie about it that I spoke about last week, and I really loved this when I was in high school and read it for the first time. A friend lent it to me because she had read it and said it was so good and I should read it. Loved it, and now I'm going to read it as an adult and see what I think. But I hope to love it as much as I did when I was a kid because I just remember it as being such a good romance. The main character, like I said, goes back in time, so it is time travel again, and falls in love. So yeah, I'm eager to give this one a shot and see what I think. So there you have it. That is my Friday reads. That's everything that I've read, everything that I will be reading. I don't know if I'll pick anything else up, but I'll let you know next week if I do. And yeah, that's all I have. I hope you all have a good Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. If you work, and happy just weekend. I hope you all have some good plans, some good fun, or some just relaxing, staying home fun. That's also good. And I will see you all next time. Bye.